Righto guys, here we are a few hours later. It's night and I'm gonna pull this stuff apart. So, okay, let's have a look. I'm keen to look at to see how this turned out. Oh, look at that. Isn't that great? Oh yeah, yes. Right, hi guys. Just a quick little preview. That's going to be there, that's going to be there. But I still have to paint that. So what I'm going to do now, that paint's reasonably sturdy, and I've got my little cutout here. The character whose weapon this is, it's Captain Icor, or Captain Icor, you know, the poison stuff that drips from the fangs of dangerous animals. And so he's got his captain and his letter of his first name monogrammed into his ivory handles. There we go. So his little CI actually looks like a currency symbol. So I'll paint that handle ivory now. Okay, here we go, satin ivory. Back again. Got my little toy assembled, ready for the start of the weathering. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. A bit too much rough showing. So what I've got some, what is it, Tamiya XF56. And what I'm going to do is where all that rust is showing, I'm going to change it into some wear by the use of some metallic grey paint. And I don't have to cover all the rust, but I'm going to cover as much as I can. So there'll be little worn bits. And this is just the first stage. I'm also going to do the wear with the silver trim that I did before. Going to put a lot of metallic grey on the bottom here because this will get very worn. Now this metal strap at the back, which is just painted on, will be very heavily worn because that's where your hand goes. Got myself a big flat brush, probably not the perfect type for this sort of thing, but we'll see. Load up lots of paint on the brush and get rid of lots of paint. And even the white metal will wear a bit. Right, so as you can see, it's just a matter of going over and over and over. And I'm pretty certain from previous experience that the black wash will, the black wash, the dirtying wash, will blend it all in a lot. And then all the smoke and soot that I'm going to add as well will do its share of blending it in and making it look good. But I mean, they say when you're dry brushing, you're supposed to just touch the tips of the brush to the surface, which is fine if you want a subtle effect, but this is a full-size toy. So a lot of that metallic grey at the front is going to be covered by soot and dust and stuff, the black wash. So we'll do the black wash now and tone everything down and see how it goes. So that's just Tamiya Flat Black XF1 mixed 50-50 with their X20A thinner. Now this thinner is pretty filthy, but it's black, so it doesn't really matter. It's not an issue. So I've got my thinner, and what I've got is some paper towels which are good quality and very soft. They're not this rough gas station stuff, because I found this tends to pull across the paint and streak it, where that just absorbs it. Let's have a look here. There we go. That's toned it down. That area compared to that area straight away. Right guys, welcome back. Just time to do the silver wear and tear. And what I'm doing is just getting a little bit of metal terps out for my silver paint, because the silver paint's a bit dry. I just want a little bit more fluidity to it, I guess you'd say. Alright, let's have a go. So there we go. I've painted that little line along the front with a bit of white just to fill it in, and I'm gonna, when it's dry, I'll go over it with some red, so it'll look like a sort of like one of those intake warnings on jet aircraft. Thing sucks in a lot of air to keep itself cool when it's firing, because the backstory is, you know, pirate gun, going to be highly modified to do as much damage as possible, probably runs a bit hot. Got my pistol there, put the red mark up the front. So I've got mixed up a mixture of light brown for my first layer of soot and smoke. So let's put it on. It shows up a bit better. Around these vents. The wear marks I just put on, but I'll just use some judgment and put a few of those back on. So, run around. Go. We have one finished Nerf blaster. There is Captain Icor's modified. I'll probably think up some fancy name for it. Right, good morning guys, Andy Work here. Here's my pistol pretty much finished. I've been working on the top sight, and I went for first like a multi-spectrum sort of thing, a sight, a movement sensor. And I've made it in component parts so you can change it around. I'll just take it off the gun. So you've got that bit which you can put in either way, and this bit which can go like that or like that, and then a little end bit that can also go up and down. And that's alright, but tomorrow it looked a bit too long, so all I did was shorten the center section. Looks a bit better there. Put it on either way. I've made this with a little notch at either end. It fits into the spring when it's in. So let me get this on. There we go. So that looks a bit better. Still, I was thinking it was a bit too tall. So just get that off. And I've just broken the entire pistol grip. Look at that. Wow. Holy. Alright, well, that was bound to happen because that's where that plastic had been, where the filament had been caught and starved the machine. So there's not a lot there. You can even see there's even a little dip at the front where there's virtually no plastic. So it was going to happen. So anyway, alright, well, I'll print another handle and I'll put the fill onto 100% and make it just rock solid. Probably take hours. Anyway, so this one was shorter, looked good, but then it occurred to me it was probably a bit too high. So I did something a bit smaller, a little bit lower, changed the design completely, just kept the mount and just changed the supports for the scope. Yeah, so you can turn it around, it's multiple, looks a bit weirder, but who knows. But so that was another idea, and I like that a bit better. It's a lot more compact. But I did ask for comments, and I think somebody mentioned something smaller like a laser sight or something. So, and I remember I actually had one, an actual pressure activated one. There we go. So I quickly printed up a base, put it on, and by running this like that, so I just need a couple of clips down onto trigger guard that won't be in the way, and this will sit in the pistol grip. And the trick, I think, to this is when you position the pressure pad, you can feel two little buttons under there. Don't have them facing out, because you've got to actually contact them to press them in and make them. Have them facing in. All you're doing is pressing the pad against the pistol grip and it goes off. I hope you can see that, but yeah. So, and this is loose down at the bottom, just a little tab, so what I can do is put a tiny little screw in there and hold it in position. And it's about the perfect place, because it only needs a very small amount of pressure on it to actually have it go off. So, I'll get on with painting these. I'll get on with printing a new pistol grip, which is really annoying. Okay guys, so here's my new printed handle. Took about 5 hours. I've just done some minor detail modification on the outside, but I did a fair amount on the inside to raise the base of the spring, so there's more compression, so I hope we can get some more performance out of it. I figured if I'm printing a new pistol grip, I might as well make the modifications. So that goes on there, that goes in there, and everything gets pushed on. Pushing it in, and I can feel there's a lot more pressure on that spring now, so it might perform a lot better, which would be good. And of course, I've just got to juggle everything and do magic with only 2 hands when I need 3 or 4. So that's all locked in place. I'm going to put the cover on to hold everything in place already. Got my newly printed pistol grip, undercoated and painted. I need no lines through it this time, which is really good. I've added some little bits of detail. It's like a mounting screw down there, so I'm going to mask a black line, a couple of mil from this edge all the way around, and put a stripe at the front and back like last time. So what I'm going to do now first is just put a rough bit of tape around it. And the only thing I want to make sure with this bit of tape is that it's reasonably flat and uncreased on the top surface here. Down here doesn't matter because that's what I want to mask, but I want it reasonably flat and uncreased, because now run around with my finger I can see where the actual edge is. So it's going to be a case of tracing a line along that edge and then cutting out the waste above it, so I can make it look like it's a crafted, you know, highly customized pistol grip for the particular user. So by holding it in the light, I can actually see the edge a bit better. So if I bring that down like that, then back up, it'll look a little bit more special, a little bit customized. So now it's just a matter of following the line very lightly. Okay guys, just about to finish off this masking at the base, and I've got this hole here I moulded in, and it's just showing at the top, and I want it to be black around it so it looks like it's part of the metal base. So I need a circular disc to stick over there. The first option you can try is, if you've got some stick-on letters, the centre out of an O. Why not? Pull it off. And that looks like it'll work, but it's very close, very small. And another idea is kind of obvious. If you need a small circular disc, a hole punch. So obviously you don't use paper, use a bit of tape. So insert it into the slot, like so. I'm going to tape it and hold it really tight, quickly press it, and by holding it down and then pulling up the tape around it and twisting the tape, you get the disc to cut off. So there's my disc with the tape side facing up. Using a craft knife, I just gently scrape that off and just put it where you want it. So, couple options. Right guys, final assembly. Got my new pistol grip. Gonna give that the black wash in a minute, but first, I don't know if I mentioned the tassel, pirate gun, ex-military man, something like that. Now this is just like an embroidery kit I bought from my local Goodwill store. It cost me $1, and basically it's just a piece of material and this green stuff. Right guys, there we've got our stencil ready to go. Now, I'm not going to mask this and try and spray everything. I'm just going to use an old number 2 and number 3 brush, which I've cut the end off to make it into a stencil brush, and I'm just going to stipple the paint on. Now, it's going to be in red, but I don't want to worry about weathering it again and everything, so what I'm going to do is just a little shortcut. A little bit of red. That's about all you need. You've got to work quick with this, that's what I pick. Then a tiny little bit of black just on there. So I've got my red, get just the tiniest bit of black, and I've already got a dirty red. So there you go. That's all I need. So just dabbing it down. I've pressed down that stencil very hard. Right guys, it's about half an hour later. Just done a second coat, dried it off a bit. Now I'm going to pull off the stencil before the paint dries and actually tears. Go. That's not too bad.